Hello, welcome to another video. Looking at the Spider-Man editor that I have. I might just first of all get the Spider-Man's original and put that in that place, and also put it in here. So we're kind of just resetting it back to the state that the um, original game was, because I've done some stuff in the background, I guess. But yeah, we'll see what this does. It takes a hot minute for a DOSBox to kind of start up. But once it does, we do this. So this first level has a few things. I had kind of uncovered the moving object. So this helicopter moves up here, and this guy moves back and forth. Um, so these are kind of tracked in one part of the rest data when I was decoding the room. But there's also some switches. So there's one here, and there's also one kind of where I'm standing ish, I think. And then there's these two up here, which they kind of stay on. And then there's one just kind of next to Spidey, R2D2 guy. Easy Spidey. Just up there, and there's also one in this cave right at the back there. So the tool that I've kind of made can now kind of display all of those switches. So there's one there, one there, one there, one there, and it does that by actually kind of decoding it and trying to work out what they all are. But you'll see that like the switch has like a chunk. Didn't know what to call it, but it had like a couple of different types of things. So the very first kind of chunk had the X and Y, and that's kind of all it had. But the LSB sometimes has a different value, which is of interest. Don't know what that means. The toggle block one, I thought I kind of knew, but playing around with things, I'm not super certain. But it kind of says like a XY, so this says 415, and that kind of lines up with that point there. And it's got size 2, so it's got these two tiles here, and gosh, where was it? It's horizontal. When it's off, it's blank, and when it's on, it's 44, which you can see it's 44 there. So I kind of decoded all of that. That's cool. What's kind of interesting is this one is kind of tied to this one. They both kind of do the same thing, but it kind of had a different decode path in the first two. I stepped through with debuggers and whatnot. But in fact, do I have any debugging stuff? I did a reboot recently. Has to do one of those firmware updates, you know. I do have stuff there. We would have to switch window, that window. But yeah, so this is all kind of coming from, golly, I can just do something like this and then do something like this. It's kind of coming from stuff like this, and you can see that's where I was kind of working before. And we're like kind of decoding through the literal bytecode. But I might just put that back there and bring up this again. There was. But yeah, so I guess what I wanted to kind of do was kind of, I don't know, experiment with stuff and kind of talk through some of my ideas. And I wonder whether it would be better to, do we have a, uh, golly, what do we have in here? Um, got a screenshot, but nah, I wanted like the, uh, yeah, that did do it. Yeah, so this kind of creates a test room. So if we do this, it does like a lot of stuff, and there's some warnings, but we don't need to care about the warnings. Maybe I haven't looked too much into them. I've mainly looked at uh, the midnight level for decoding it. But yeah, I believe now with my tool, I have the ability to kind of write my own thing. Now, that's kind of interesting that it kind of failed on that. I wonder what it was. Annoyingly, I have to do it again. Um, so it didn't like that. It's because we're not like passing it any R's. Is that the issue? Because yeah, I need to do file. And maybe I can kind of default this to 44. Well, 44 was the hex value. Maybe I can just default it to 1. So we have some sort of a tile. But really, I should be kind of saying what tile I want there. So I don't know. I'll put 12 there. I forgot how this tool works, but this will generate me the room, and now that it's done it, it can kind of go through, does a bunch of stuff, and now we got to wait the hot minute the DOS box to kind of start up. And so now, if we go this way, there's a bunch of tiles in here. And I guess what I want to do is like maybe add some switches in this one. If we do the display on 0, it should kind of say what things are. We have no switches. So I don't actually have ability to add switches. Potentially, maybe this is how I'll do it, because it's kind of easier starting from a blank room, maybe. So in room.c, which is kind of the file I started with, it has all the new things, all the main entry points, so like all the command line options and whatnot. So there's like a bunch of things. So main is actually fairly large. So if we go there and there, it's 102, 1012 to 1664. So it's like 600 lines. It probably could be a little smaller. Anyhow, what happens in this patches is we check for what type of thing it is, and potentially I can add some objects, and we also check for what type of switch it is. Now, I guess the num switches, I kind of want to see whether it is used when we write. So that is kind of setting it, but that's yeah. So this doesn't do it for us. I guess Uh, so this can equal num switches to or data dot underscore num switches and 0 uh well no it's actually just uh, 2, so 2 bytes would be 3. Where have I gone, bud? And so if we go back to there and uh, do something like that, yeah, and then that does that. So I think that does that. We can take away the assert because we're fixing it now. But it kind of it means that we need to update this when we do that. So when we did this write new switch, and if it's like too much, we won't do it. But potentially we could. So we've just done that, Alex. But yeah, we do need to kind of make the switches go up by 1. So switches. So this is going to be file patch d dot data dot switches equals re-alec. And I guess this is now going to be, wow, we can actually just set file dot rooms patch. I kind of want to get the the compressed room, that one, and we can just do this. Probably should be appointed. File, so you file rooms patch. D. I mean, we can just have this as a room. Something like that, and then we can go room data dot num switches equals IDX, and we'll just kind of re-alec stuff up to that. But I guess we probably want to know what it was before. So maybe we'll do that afterwards. And so we're going to re-alec room data switches. I'm going to do it there. So this can go, yeah, this can go like, I can. But now it can go like that. We didn't want that, but we can get it back. The switches. Right, so we kind of want to do this at a time the size of a switch object, otherwise it will be too small. And here we probably want to do like a size ti equal data dot switches. How do we want to do this? Well, this is actually from the num switches. We kind of want to make sure that the data that got allocated is empty. So I guess we probably want to go room data dot switches and this is going to be I less than IDX, I guess. And we can probably do an assert that data switches and now ran out of memory. So what do we do with this switch? We kind of want to make sure that it's all clear. So maybe I'll find out what this is. So how can I get there? It's just got that. So we probably just want to go in chunks. And so this is just something like that. So we probably want to say that the capacity equals 0 and the length equals that and the data equals null, not num. Right, and then at that point we can say that's that. And at that point, we should be able to get the switch object to do that. So I think that is now implemented. And I think it's even implemented if it's like that. But this should be +1, right? And this should be +1, and this should be equal to something like that, and then we can still get the same old thing. So I think this we have just a Vim Golf 1. Cool. I was doing some Vim Golfing before. Need to be there to nah. Right, so now at this point, if we go a.out, the display is there. We can do a patch of 0, and we can go switches 0.x, and we can just make it well 4, I guess. And we can kind of run our editor to see where Spidey starts. It's at 314, so that's 320 in decimal and 314 in here. Added some features to that. But because we're doing this, we can do the 0x. Unimplemented right new switch. Is that the case? I thought I literally just did it. 1588. 1588. What do you have here? Alright, so where did I... Oh, so that's just in this case where... yeah, so that's like if we want to write a specific part of the chunk. Which we probably will have to do that. But yeah, we can probably just do the same thing for this, and I mean it kind of makes this kind of not needed. So now if we do this, we should be able to do that. Append new switch chunk. Oh, yeah, so we are actually appending a chunk. It's interesting, actually, because I only have chunks. That else, the part that I did at first, is just not really needed. it's probably unreachable. And perhaps I could do. Do we have an unreachable? Um, is that something we have? No. But do we have anything that says unreachable? We just do it kind of manually. So I think this is like kind of unreachable now. But and why do I think it's unreachable? Um, so switches now only chunk and no local uh, views. And we don't care about that. And so that's going to be that. And will you complain that I won't complain that it's dead code, so it doesn't know that it's exit means that. Anyhow, what do we do when we want to do this? I think we can just do I put in a oh my god. I want array. Do we not have um it's a very simple array that we've got here. I kind of want we can probably do this. Find array sure, and we can pass in a, and we can pass in a size is fine to do, and we can do something like this, and that is something like this. So here we will just do array and shell a and u cap. And then in here we can kind of dump all of that stuff that we just had, maybe back from. So new cap is now size, and we can do size, and that kind of sets everything up. And now back here we can go array and sure, we can go chunk ID. And I wonder if this array ensure it doesn't really do the scanning up to it and making sure that the data is like kind of clear. And I wonder if that's kind of possible in macro lands, because the type, it might not just be like an integer type. We can do a mem set actually. So if that is the case, we should probably do like a kind of want to just do an assert search data. No, can just have that include search.h. Cool. So if that is the case, what do we want to do? We want to do a mem set, and so that has place where it's going, the byte, and then the number. And so the place where we're going to go is a.data plus a.capacity times size of a data there. So start at where the current capacity is, and we want to put in just 0, and we want to do it how many more times? We want to do it size minus, well, in fact, I kind of want to, if size is less than or equal to a dot capacity, we can do a break out of here. So this size minus a dot capacity, so it's always bigger, and we want that to be size of a dot 0. I think that will do the trick. And it shouldn't overflow. And because I've got all the dangerous flags on, it should kind of tell me if things are doing it. Right, so what do we want to do here? We want to do chunks, and is expecting this to be stop recording, please. Is this expecting it to be a pointer, or no, it is not. So that's kind of like that. So yeah, that's fine. And it's got pedantic, it's got sanitized address. So if anything goes bad, it should kind of do this. Unfortunately, we can't do the same here. Well, we can actually do just mem set data dot, which is plus or hold the fort in the are we certain? In here, I mean it's here. We want this mem set. The a dot capacity, we do not need to times that. Because a dot data is a pointer to a thing of type. Whenever you add something to it, it will do pointer arithmetic, and so it won't just add bytes. So adding capacity will actually add the entire thing that we have currently. But I believe we do need the this here, because this is going to get passed as like a void star, so it doesn't know the size, so it needs the bytes in here, and this potentially will tell us as such. Yeah, first n bytes. So yeah, we do this, and down here we want to do data dot num switches, and we want to fill it with 0, and we want to set it to IDX plus 1 minus data dot num switches, which should be smaller or equal to thing. So this will be either 1 or more. And so this we need to give it the switch object. Apologies for the we can do something like this. So we get the size of the switch object, and we do something like that, and then we don't really need to do that. And that still works, and maybe here I can we can by to this one here, and we could try run it. We could try display 0. Yeah, so I thought something bad might happen. So Has this been yeah, alright. So we need to kind of do this. We display one. Alright, shall I read where I'm meant to be 299 in this file? So we're reading. Oh, we just read. Um, that's because it does an array add, and then that does an array, sure. Um, this is only. Oh, we can just do new data here. Ooh, but all right. Can we just give it some bytes that won't like that? So what if we say this is a just a byte pointer? That was enough for that. And cool, that's getting displayed again. Does this mem set make sense then? We may have nothing, but we're doing a realloc. And we check it's not null. So we do that, and we might have none, and we do that. So it basically does the same as what a calc would do, and this still looks roughly the same. And in our zero room, it's currently filled with lots of tiles, but if we do the patch tile, and maybe do something like, I don't know, 5 this time. So now that will print a bunch of things, and it won't have any switches. I want to put a switch in. But it will set it up. Once it's set up, I can look at putting some switches in. Oh, I thought that was it, but it wasn't quite. It just needs to write like a bunch more, and then DOSBox needs like 10 minutes to set up. 10 minutes. Look at it go. Takes so long. So there's still like a few other bits that I don't quite understand the meaning of, but I mean, I can play around with them, and I can potentially look a bit more in the source to see what it is. Right, so we have a bunch of things here. I want to put some tiles. Did you register? Cool, like weird. Just do it the slow way. So now if I display this, we don't have any switches, and maybe I can add a switch. So was that a thing that kind of existed? No, that's going into not as relevant stuff. So here we can maybe patch 0, and what did it want me to do? I kind of wanted to do the switches 0.x, and we can say that it's at 4. And right, so it doesn't like this, and it potentially has row. And I thought I had done 1601. Is this? This is the one that is like two. No, I just haven't done this. But we do an array in short, and I think that's what we need to do. And that's enough for this. And that's in the switch object. Uh, all that. Cool. So now we have broken things. I'm just right. It doesn't like this. But we can go to 1598. That is what it's pointing here, and so this is kind of suggesting that chunks data is null, which I would expect at this point here that it would get it. So yeah, I think maybe I need to do GDB and let's chuck args in front of that, and maybe I want to break that room.c and maybe on 1594. And if we run this and layout source, so this is where we are looking at chunk EX, and that's what it is. And if we look up chunks, we have link there. So I would expect, yeah, so we go into this and so the yeah, we kind of want this to be that, I think. Make sure there's one more over than the one that we're going to look at. Yeah, I think that's what we want. So if we compile that again, put that and just run that. Cool. That's somewhat fine. We just need to also do like something like preamble. Where are you defined? I kind of want like in really it's like room.h, I guess. So switch chunk has a type, and the type should default to preamble. I would have thought when we kind of add in the thing. I would have thought, but I can kind of add in a manual saying so it switches type of preamble. Ooh, and now we have some leaks. That's all right. So 1325 in there. 1325 in this array add. So we're getting a patch instruction. Do we not clear? Oh, we need chunks. 0. It's kind of interesting. Oh, my. Yeah, I am not doing a return to fur here. But like we have we have defer. So I just kind of want to see where this is, and this is like quite a ways down the program actually. So I think I want to do something like this. And here we can just do something like that. And here we get all of this and come down here and like after all the things that we might want, I don't know, like there's a good point. And so in here, like maybe all of this stuff. We want to replace return space with space and like dot star. We need to do something like that. Yeah, and we want to replace that with return and brackets and the first thing. So if we do that, then it does all the right things. And what does that do? That just complains about everything. So I think I want to go select all of that, and we also want to swallow up that. Yeah, cool. And so now if we do that, we don't know about return to per. Right. So if we do this, it was deferred return. Is that what I called it? Redo that. Redo, and then do that. Cool. So now that works. And what does this do? We don't know type. That's cool. But we can say chunks 0 dot type. And I think we need to read in the original thing and do golly. Patch child, but we need to give it maybe we'll do 3 this time. And so this will clear out that room and kind of make it good for my testing because I want to see if I am able to make a new switch. That'll be cool. And if I can, that looks reasonably like saying to be able to do a new thing as well. What am I thinking? I don't really want this DOS box to start up, but it's just a thing that needs to happen as part of this patch file. Because, like, when I was doing box name, I kind of wanted to be like, cool, what's the start? What's the start? What's the start? Perhaps I should change the script to change the switches to see, like, what all the different bits do. Right. Are we good? We're good. So now if we display, so we can see the 0th room and we can do the patch and we can do that. And is it not? I thought I have set it to be 0. I am actually kind of interested what it is. So I guess the best way to do this might be to use the old GDB and just run it. So golly, every time we do that, we kind of have to do this patch tile. And the room looks there. I don't know, 4 before this time, and we'll just run GDB afterwards because I want to see why it is throwing the cert. Bit frustrating that you have to redo the whole room. I potentially don't have to do this part because all I'm testing is whether I can add a new switch. And I put in a cert that it had to start with the preamble because otherwise the game engine wouldn't do it. And so yeah, now if I go run, it should go into a cert. Cool. So if we go to frame 7, I guess, and we can lay out source and perhaps look at what Chunks has. It has a bunch of data. What do I need? I need to do data. So it should have no datas. I guess the length needs to go up if we do things. So yeah, that's probably what I do. So we have an array, sure. The capacity goes up at this point, but it does not add the length. But yeah, I guess at this point the chunk dot length equals chunk IDX. That should be the case. And what would be the case in the room? So if we did all this, like something like that, but we don't need to do it for a room because it's only handled switches. It's not an array that has a capacity and a length. So if we do that, unfortunately, we'll have to copy the file again. And I kind of want to, I think, perhaps just patch it now. And so if we display that and do something like that, right, the switch hasn't actually added I would have thought it would. So perhaps I can do this GDB and maybe we can break right file layout with source and we just run this. We should get to here and which file is this? Oh, right, we're running the whole file. Perfect. So I actually wanted to be cool. We should be in room 0. So I want to see what's in room 0. So what does room look like? How can we kind of make things look a bit nicer? So let's look at room again. And what does it have? What is of interest? Num switches is 1. So switches should have a thing. So if we go p switches, and we can get the first one, I guess. Does it not? Oh, it's in data, yeah. But switches. The room, we're just not allowed. Tab complete at the moment. Right, so if we do that, We're allowed stuff now. Right, so here we have some chunks. So we could probably look at what the chunks.data one is, because there's a length of 1, and it's got some stuff in it. So I guess, why does it not that compressed stuff is like old school? I suppose it's like right. So what are we doing? Ah, what needs doing is this nums, which is equals this thing needs to be done way up, like kind of at the room thing here, so we can kind of make sure that everything's right, because we write that out there, so we want to make sure that that is right. Hopefully that's my problem. So if we did this, we need to file again. So if we do this, it looks like it's written. If we display it, we have a switch and it's way up there. But now we could probably do the patch tile. I don't know, like 7, maybe 7 is a good number. I probably don't want to. Cool. Cool. Ooh, hungry. Right, so this has our thing. So I guess we probably also want to check the wires. I think like or maybe 20 in that room. And so if we display that, so that's like one of these tiles here. And what will it do? Don't know. So I go stand on it. And perhaps I should change that tile. So we can change tile of 4 and 20, and we can change it to, I don't know, 44, but that's not really a good number. What is this one? 54 is what I want. And now if we display that one, 36. That's because we need 0x to say that. And now if we go in there, it should be, it should look like there is a switch there. I have no idea what it will do. It may not even play the game, like it might just crash. But who knows? Takes a hot minute to get up and going. Right, what do we have? So we need to go into this room, and we have a little switch over there. Oh, I'm nervous. I am nervous. I should have put it a little closer. Will it crash? Did nothing. Nothing seemingly appeared or anything. It's a weird thing. And we can get it back. Cool. That was 101. That one was. It's doing that thing. Cool. Cool. what do I want to do with the switch then? Do I want to add another chunk to make it like this toggle block? Maybe we could do something like that. Yeah, why not? Cool. So I guess we would have to do a dot out patch of 0 switches 0 dot chunks 1 dot type, and this is a toggle block, and switches 0 dot chunks 1 dot. So we can give it an x and a y. So maybe I'll give it a x of 5 and switches 0 dot chunks 1 dot y. Maybe I'll give that a 5 as well. And the toggle block also had a couple of other things that it could be. Gosh, where was it? It can also have a direction and then an off and an on. So I guess the direction, maybe we'll try with vertical. I believe that is what it means. And switches 0 dot chunks 1 dot, what was the last one? Off. We can maybe have it as 1 actually, just to see that that's kind of what it does. I'll be interested if it has updated the screen before I kind of get in there. And the on, maybe we can just call that a 44. But maybe a 0 is 44. And I think that is kind of what I want to do. And it's done. So maybe we'll spin up old DOS blocks and see what this kind of churns out with. And yeah. So when it's writing, it should assemble the bytes in the right order. So hopefully the game engine likes it, I guess. Cool. So there is a thing up in the corner. I forget what my maybe I'll go here and Spidey editor, and do I have my tile set here? And so 1 was a red square and it hurts. So if I actually get up there, it will hurt. So I thought I'd put a larger size, to be honest. So we didn't actually put a size at all, so I guess the size is 0. But hopefully this switch will change that to a different thing. It didn't. There's a lot to learn about these switches. A lot to learn. Perhaps it didn't do it because it needs to have a switches there. 1 dot size, and maybe we can give this like 7. So it might be obvious. I kind of want to make the patch, like if we have any sort of patches, I kind of want it to do a display after. And how do we do this? We can search for display. This is kind of freeing all the rooms. I mean, that's wrong, right? The compression. That's the thing that it's saying it's not valid. So that's kind of like writing the whole thing. And it clears the compressed nature because it reads it compressed, so that means it has to recompress. But what I kind of want to do is have this kind of happen again. Maybe like in here, but like I guess we can get rid of that and that. But this display room is like, I guess, uh, display equals -1. And when we get a thing, if oh, no, I think I actually like more going through and kind of printing all the rooms that you did. How I'd go about and do that. What I can do is make use of array, and maybe we can whatever like this is. The room ID is a uint8, so we can call this a uint8, and rooms, and it can start off empty. So in this, we kind of want to for size t zero less than rooms dot length, I believe I called it, and then r plus, and in our r we will check if hatch.room ID equals like maybe found equals false, and if patch ID equals rooms.data of r, and it's just an integer. So if that is the case, then we want to say found equals true and break here. And if not, we probably want to do array add and rooms, and we can go catch room ID. And then at the end of this, we can go over rooms. So here we can get uint. That's doing it for all the rooms, but we just want to do this, and here we can go rooms.data I, and here we can probably say rooms.data I. Well, it potentially is actually, and then we dump whatever room we had, and then do that. And I think that'll just be a bit nicer experience that once you kind of write it, it will do that. So at the end of that, you can do array free of rooms. Now, there is a potential of a leak that if it hits one of these kind of cases, it will do things. So perhaps I want this rooms to be all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way, up here somewhere. I don't know. We can just have that there, and when we do that array free, got there. This one, we can now do that after. it does mean that we're kind of holding on to the memory maybe a bit more than we need to, but the program, it does kind of run snappy. It's not like I really care too much. Right, so now this has a bigger size, and I wonder whether I can see anything different. Because if I can, that would be kind of cool. Kind of cool. Um, Gosh, it takes a while. But yeah, now it says that we have a switch B. Right, so now if we go over here, what do we see? Yeah, so we see a few things. So we wanted a size of 7, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I guess it's plus 1 because we saw 1 before. But the thing is, I'm not seeing it when we switch. I kind of expect it to switch to a different tile. And I wonder why. I wonder what they need to do to kind of make it like that. Because I know that these ones will switch when one of these two switches. I found like when I moved that one down there and kind of disconnected it somehow, you could switch it on and off, but normally it's just switch once and that's that. But I guess I need something to see like maybe if I set LSB to 80, that might do it. So we could do switches 0 chunks 0 dot LSB, and we can set this to 80, and like it will gather up all the other bits that it needs in LSB, because the X and the Y are kind of hidden in there. So now I can still see it's at the 420, but it has that LSB set. And MSB, I think, could have had something. I can't recall. But yeah, we saw this bit. So 19Y, and maybe we can. How do we do this? I kind of want. Yeah, there are two things. Because we can run our editor to kind of see where things are a bit better. So the 19, we're not in hex mode. 19Y, not 19Y, 19.9. That is this boy here. And seemingly all it has is the preamble with the LSB of 80 and the toggle block of that. And I couldn't really see any other things that might kind of suggest that that is what it is. So now that we've written that, I mean, it's just a single bit. I'll see if that kind of changes the switch stability. I should move the switch closer. I wonder if it's quicker to kind of kill DOSBox, but it kind of it runs a bunch of keys to get past those keys. But yeah, I wonder. Oh, so this is on the other mode actually. So it started on the different set of tiles, and I wonder if this. Yeah, so this is now switching on and off. Hey, made must first switch. Cool, and that's kind of that. I wonder how you make it more permanent, but that is a switch. I haven't actually published this code anywhere just because it's still kind of chaotic and it's not really in a working state. But I hope people can see the potential in this, I guess. Because yeah, now we have some cool things. And I think this. Oh, we can't even get it. Interesting. Oh, can we do? I didn't want to do that. But yeah, I'm having fun now. I kind of want to. Oh, like stuck. Yeah, go for it. But I kind of want to shoot the web while I'm facing down, but I think I'll be one tile off. Just wanted to see what would happen if if it changed like while I was on it. But yeah, cool. So I guess one thing I have noted is the off and the on the wrong way around. So if we do that display of 0, our off was 1, the red tile, and our on was 44. And we were seeing the kind of starting state. It's kind of interesting. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Because like if we look up here, like the off is 0 and the off is 0, and you would kind of think that that's all that's needed. But here we kind of start with the opposite. Even though like, so that's like the green, so it's off, and green, so you would think it's off, but then that is not the 0, that's the 44. But then over in this one, this is toggling this, and this is the green, so it's on same state as this. But if we scroll up a little and find our thing here, the off is 0 and 49 is these tiles here. So it's kind of interesting. I wonder if having an off not of 0 made a difference. And I can check out that hypothesis, I guess. So we can change our off to 0. And perhaps we can at the same time change this to horizontal, just to confirm my hunch that that is the vertical and horizontal flag. Yeah, it's kind of interesting how all these chunks kind of marry up as well. You'll notice that my leftover data, the rest, how it was, you might have seen in previous videos, used to be quite long. These switches are getting described by all of that data. So cool, it's gone horizontal, but it's still that same like weird opposite tile. If anyone is interested, there is this level, which is the video code level, and you can see it's got a lot going on. It's got a couple of moving things because it's got the R2D2 there and green block. So this thing here apparently moves, but it's very small. And yeah, and then the rest are kind of just switches, and they all kind of look like toggle blocks, but then some are unknowns, and like some might link up to each other. And, I don't know. I just don't know, but I don't know. Made some progress. I'm pretty excited with how or what direction it's kind of going in, and I've even made it kind of work in this, but you can't like push the buttons and it doesn't show the stuff where it is. I mean, similar to this. We don't actually show that this is kind of up there. Um, I'll probably make the editor a bit more interactive, so it does have some hotkeys and you can wander around in it. But it would be maybe kind of interesting to and say I want to see what the switch does, and then it can tell all the information about it. And hopefully, I get to the stage where I understand why these two are linked up. I can show all the bytes and whatnot. But yeah, no, it's kind of making progress, and I'm pretty happy. So let me know what you guys think. And yeah, hopefully you have a great day, and I will probably see you next time I do a video. It might not be on this content, but I do some interesting things, and people seem to like it, so I'll see you.